Nick Nelson. He is the star player on the rugby team.
With her first young adult novel, Solitaire, being published when Alice Oseman was just 19 years old, the author has certainly built quite the career for herself. Now claiming the titles of author, illustrator, screenwriter, and executive producer, they have expanded on the passion for literature and art. As of 2022, her most notable creations carry the title of Heartstopper, both a series of graphic novels with occasional novellas and now a Netflix original series. Oseman was born on October 16, 1994 in Kent, England. She attended Rochester Grammar School as her early education and later went on to earn a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature from Durham University in 2016.
I had something I wanted to ask you. Do you want to go out with me? Do you want to join the rugby team?
In 2017, Oseman's debut novel, Solitaire, was published. The story follows Tori Spring, a teenage girl who couldn't care less about, well, everything. That is until she meets optimistic and outgoing Michael Holden. Throughout the book, she tackles the mystery of a student blog titled Solitaire. The novel also introduced Tori's brother, Charlie, who is explored further in the Heartstopper series. Oseman's second novel carries the piercing title of Radio Silence. The story follows Frances Genevieve, an overachiever whose life revolves around her admission to Cambridge. She meets Alid Lass, the creator of her favorite podcast. Alice has spoken publicly about relating to academic pressure that Frances feels. Additionally, they have spoken to the high volume of diversity within the novel when it comes to orientation, gender identity, and ethnicity. Primarily, saying that they wish they'd make diversity a priority earlier on when they wrote Solitaire. Radio Silence won the 2017 Silver Inky Award for Young Adult Literature. Their third novel is titled I Was Born for This and follows the stories of Fereshte Rahimi and Jimmy Kagarichi. According to readers, this novel centers around fan-based culture and how fans have a tendency to lose themselves in the media or other content they are passionate about. As of June 2022, their most recent full novel is titled Loveless and is based on their personal experience at university. The novel has been praised for providing rare representation to asexual and aromantic communities. Two novellas were published in 2015 following the stories of Charlie Spring and Nick Nelson from Heartstopper graphic novels. In July, Oseman published The Nick and Charlie, which detailed a rather heartbreaking fight between the two soulmates. In November, Oseman published This Winter, which mostly dealt with Charlie's eating disorder and how his mental health impacted the family's dynamics in the Spring household. While the Heartstopper graphic novels began their official publishing journey in 2018, Alice had been publishing the comics to online platforms called Webtoon and Tumblr long before that. New volumes continue to go to print until 2021, at which point Alice continued posting new chapters to Webtoon in order to gather upcoming books before going on hiatus somewhat recently due to burnout. Coming in the fall of 2022, the Heartstopper yearbook has begun printing. This book will provide detailed character profiles as well as Heartstopper insights.
So cuddly like that. Do I? Yeah.
Promoting Loveless, Oseman opened up regarding her asexual and aromantic identities. She also utilizes she, her, and they, them pronouns. She has been open regarding her struggles with mental health and burnout related to overworking herself.
In the corner, thinking right over every single word.
A large portion of Alice Oseman's success can be attributed to the fact that their novels are very relatable to young audiences, especially the audiences that are not used to seeing themselves represented in popular media. As with Loveless and portraying aromantic and asexual characters, so with Heartstopper and portraying a transgender person of color, Oseman's writing is beyond essential due to the volumes of rare representation that it brings. Thanks to them, many teens and young adults who feel excluded from exciting narratives may see themselves represented within stories that carry so much more than substance than this book is about gay people. Instead, the characters in Oseman's book simply happen to have a certain identity. The whole narrative isn't focused on their identity, it just plays a part. This is simply remarkable for LGBTQ literature, which has a tendency to focus on trauma that comes along with being queer or on the dissection of different identities. Additionally, the Heartstopper series portrays a very rare case of queer joy. Generally speaking, most LGBTQ media seeks to exploit the negativity that may arise along with a queer identity. However, Oseman did the polar opposite. She showed audiences that sheer joy and power that comes with discovering your identity and living proudly within it. It wouldn't be fair to ignore Alice Oseman's contribution to the LGBTQ community. They have truly made a change within the sphere of queer literature, and it can only be hoped that the other authors follow their lead. It is true that you should become the change you want to see. Alice Oseman has done just that. By bringing representation to more niche communities and constructing deeply impactful narratives, they are making queer history.